What's up, everybody? It's Fantastic Nick here, enjoying a nice afternoon delight, a little bush light. Um, um, so today, I kind of wanted to talk about gun control and some of the ideas that's been floating around in the last, couple years about restricting access to guns to Americans, which partially I am for, and I know I said I don't get political a whole lot, but I feel like I wanted to touch on this subject. And believe me, in some of the following videos, I'll lighten things up with, have some fun. But I just wanted to get this one out of the way. It's striking to me that we as a country are so worried about gun control and taking away. And before I get started, let me just say this: I don't advocate gun violence. I think active shooters are cowards. At best, they're cowards. They're the scum of the earth. I don't even think that they deserve due process. I really don't. I think you fight fire with fire, a quick bullet to the head, dump them wherever you want. I really don't care. Let's save some taxpayer dollars, in my opinion. But I know that that's not the law, and that's not the way things will ever work again. This isn't the 1890s. But with that said, I just want, banning assault rifles or making it next to impossible for good, hardworking citizens to get guns. I think that that's stupid. I don't think there will ever be a time where they come knocking on our doors to take our guns away, because that would be the start of a very violent America, a possible civil war even. That's my opinion. But gun violence, really honestly, it's not even in the top 10 causes of death in the United States. Now, you take away an American's right to bear arms, and if you take that away, what do you think that they're just going to be no more guns anymore, and they're just going to all disappear? I mean, because honestly, there's hundreds of thousands of illegal, untraceable, black market guns in the streets. They're in every major city and in cities surrounding every major city. They're everywhere, and they're untraceable for the feds. You can't trace them. So it makes it difficult to follow that gun. Actually, not difficult, just impossible. It's impossible. So, I mean, good, hardworking Americans lose their ability to have guns, then what? Then it's unarmed Americans versus armed criminals in America. That is a dangerous precedent, and we'll never get to that point because there's too many good gun owners that just wouldn't allow it. There's too many members in the government that wouldn't allow that, and we're thankful for that. But as I was saying earlier, gun violence in America doesn't even register in the top 10 causes of death. In fact, the top 5 leading causes of death are nowhere near are nowhere near gun violence. The number 1 cause of death, heart disease. We'll allow America and America's kids to stuff their faces full of McDonald's and Taco Bell and shit cafeteria food in the elementary schools. But let's take away guns, right? Let's let little Billy go to school, and his options in the cafeteria are nachos or a greasy ass cheeseburger. Those are his options. And it's getting a little better these days, but when I was in school, those were, you had one option: a fucking corn dog or go hungry. And that's unfortunate. And I know some of the heart disease is genetics and everything else, but a good portion of it is the shit food that America allows to be in our stores, to be in our restaurants. Uh, Food literally littered with chemicals and shit that is just terrible for you, you know. And I fall partially victim to this. My kids fucking love McDonald's, and I give them McDonald's on rare occasions. But we don't go to McDonald's. You know, it's a once a month, if that. Um, you know, 8, 9 times a year they get a Happy Meal, and that's it. I keep them away from that as best as I can. And in the grocery stores, it's not much better. You know, in the store it costs, you know, $6, $7, $8 for a family-sized lasagna that's full of shit and preservatives and chemicals to make it last for fucking 50 years in the freezer. Um, but it costs, you know, $15 to make that same lasagna homemade, you know. And it sucks, but that's the way it is in America. But we allow the shit foods in this country to be rampant in our schools, to be rampant in our restaurants, but we want to get rid of guns. Kind of silly to me, but you know, the next leading cause of death behind heart disease is cancer. You know, we got no problem with cigarettes. We got no problem with alcohol. Some of the leading causes of cancer in America, you know, and I'm not saying we should outlaw tobacco, but for fuck's sake, it's part of the number 2 leading cause of death. Actually, you can argue that it causes heart disease as well, you know, but smoking or tobacco products can be attributed in the top 2 causes of death in America, but we're not gonna control that. No, instead we'll tax the fuck out of it and make millions and millions and millions of dollars off of it, and send our citizens to the hospital because they eat shit and they smoke and they drink, and jack up the health care for everybody else, and they'll make money off of that too. I'm not trying to get on a soapbox of health care and all that, but we're trying to outlaw guns or control guns, and we just don't give a shit about the food or the cigarettes or anything like that. You know, the number 3 leading cause of death in America is chronic lower respiratory disease. You know, I mean, you're just screwed if you get stuck with that. You know, accidents. Number 4, accidents, car accidents. You know, we'll ban guns, but let's not worry about, you know, cars doing 180 miles an hour. You know, why are we still making cars, you know, street legal that can go 180, 200 miles an hour? Unless, you know, it's beyond me. Whatever. I'm just gonna leave that. You know, accidents are more than that. You know, people falling off of cliffs, whatever, falling down a mountain, getting lost in the woods. Those are all accidents too. There's not much you can do about that, but that's just natural selection, in my opinion. And number 5, you know, the 5th leading cause of death for Americans is stroke. So again, gun violence, not anywhere near the top 5, nor is it in the top 10. The closest it gets, because here, I'll just finish out the list. I won't go into detail about them, but number 6, Alzheimer's. 7 is diabetes. Influenza and pneumonia at number 8. Kidney disease at number 9, which again is attributed to eating shitty, salty, fucking fast foods. But whatever. The closest gun violence can get to in the top 10 is suicide, self-harm, intentional self-harm. And what percentage of that is gun violence or is gun related? you know, I don't know. I'm sure there's a statistic out there, but people kill themselves by in a lot of ways. You know, they hang themselves, they, you know, carbon monoxide poisoning, jumping off a bridge, whatever. But I just think it's funny that and it's I'm not I just think it's funny that this country is so worried about gun violence and restricting guns, that we overlook some of the simpler things in life. You know, a lot of those people that want guns to be banned or outlawed are sitting at home eating McDonald's for the third time this week and have no idea that they're filling their bodies full of poison, and it could already be too late for some of them. They may die of heart disease. And maybe when they're on their deathbed, they're going to wish to fucking hell that they focus their efforts on something else. On maybe living a healthier lifestyle than just spending all day trying to ban guns. And I just think it's stupid, you know. And a perfect example of why or how banning guns won't work is Chicago. Look at Chicago. In one weekend, recently, in 2 weekends in a row, 40 plus people were blown away. So that's 80 something plus people in 2 weekends. They got blown away. Well, guess what? Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. Flat out. And I can almost guarantee you that most of those guns used were untraceable, illegal, black market guns. Guns passed on from criminal to criminal, whatever. And like I said, you take away guns in a city like Chicago and you extrapolate that into an entire nation, and you're still going to have gun violence. It doesn't stop. You're just taking guns away from honest, hardworking people, and it's bullshit. You know, I'm a gun owner myself. I have no problems getting guns. You know, so the stricter gun laws don't affect me, but some people they do, and some of these people are good, hardworking people. You know, that aren't gonna go postal, as it were, on anybody. But I just I think it's stupid. Anyway, yeah. I don't have much else to say about the topic, so I'm going to end this video before I wear out my welcome here. But yeah, I hope all of you, you know, and you're welcome to give me your feedback. You know, if you want to criticize me for my thoughts and opinions, go for it. Leave nasty comments. I don't give a shit. You can get all hippie on me all you want, or all lefty on me all you want. I don't care. I really don't. There's gun stores in every single city in the nation, so, you know, you want to get all lefty on me, go for it. That's fine. But I open up, you know, you guys want to have some dialogue or ask me some questions, you know, go for it. You know, that's kind of what I'm here for, doing this for. So, but I'll end this now, so you guys stay classy.